Looking at, we've got, I hate this term, but we've coined it ourselves, looking at tech, our year's called Techno-Sapien. What does that, and that means is, what does the relationship between technology and human beings look like? Because right now we're entering the second phase of technology where we've kind of all had the good stuff, but now we're starting to see things, starting to see activities that are maybe affecting our well-being and health online. So we're going to press on. And what I want to ask everyone here, well not everyone, but a couple of people. So you know you're doing some qualitative data around finding out, particularly the groups tackling about how people feel online. I want to ask you a couple of questions. Has anyone ever felt anxious, or they know they're kind of they are quite addicted to their own devices? Does anyone have that own self-recognition? Yes. Oh yes. You do there. What do you have anxiety? What is it where you're?
What with the technology in specifics?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can just see that you are addicted to it. Yeah, you can. You know.
What are you particularly addicted to, out of interest?
Probably social media. Yeah. Instagram. Tumblr. Yeah.
Okay. How long do you spend on it a day, Tarek?
No, it depends on the day. No idea.
Okay. Too long.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
By yourself.
I believe if anybody here says that they don't use social media or on a almost addictive basis, they're lying.
Really?
Because I'm seeing this in my community with my friends. Everybody is addicted to their phones. Because what will we do at any time when we're not speaking to someone, when we don't have to do something, when we don't have any... People used to... Some used to read books, some used to do this, some used to do that, and now 90% of people only look at their phones and they don't do anything productive. Like, I will look at... when I don't have anything else to do, I'll look at social media just to kill time. And it's a lot of time that you've got to kill.
So let me turn the question around then. Who thinks they've actually got quite a healthy relationship and that they know when to stop, when to use the... Yeah?
I kind of disagree. It's there. I feel like it needs to be there, and perhaps that's the sort of addiction, like hidden addiction that's there. And
does it take willpower not to use it?
I don't use it. Like
you just don't use it.
I've disciplined myself not to use it. Like
yeah.
if with social media, the only reason why I use it is to communicate with people. I do post here and there, but I'm very strict because with me I have lots of tasks to do, and when I'm done with what I have to do during the day, then I'll probably won't go to sleep because I'll be tired by then. And yeah, but I guess it's very because it's there in our face, we get addicted.
I get what you're getting at, but me as well. I also have all these things on my laptop, and I won't use them. Will never enter. Even if I get a message, I'll probably won't open it. I have work to do.
We really have to show our staff that there is something really changing in the world, and big companies now, right at the beginning of this year, Apple investors, so these are the people that are investing in Apple, they started to demand action on smartphone addiction. Has anyone got the latest Apple iPhone? That you can start now, that you can start seeing they're starting to put more and more tools in. We'll talk about those in a bit. But at the beginning of this year, Mark Zuckerberg sent this Facebook message out saying we want to make sure 2018 is time we all spend on Facebook is time well spent.
That's ironic.
Sorry?
That's ironic.
Yeah, I think he had some. He didn't know the road ahead would be a kind of a tricky one, but let's not go down too far in the Facebook area. But even big tech companies now, whether they're genuine or disingenuous, started to see that actually if we keep giving these tools away, we keep doing the things that we're about to show, we're going to lead into a very, possibly quite unhealthy society. And we quite like this. So it's ironic that there was a study where actually quite a lot of the big chief executives of own social media companies never really use their actual app as well. So that was quite interesting. You build a product, you don't use it. There must be something. Why was that? So we explored that. So what we're going to do over the next. I don't know. What time do we finish here? So what time?
Isn't it 4:30?
Oh, excellent.
I'm doing a session just before that. It's meant to be 4 till 4:30, but I'm not sure how we're splitting the time.
When someone shouts at me,
Yeah,
I will stop. But for the two, what we want to do the next bit is just to raise awareness, because it's very useful to know what are the tools being used to keep our attention, and what are the tools being used now to help us highlight the use of our attention. We'll probably focus more on the first one today. Okay, so I'm going to say a very obvious thing right now. Time is money, and that any time you spend on an app or a website or anything, there is some sort of revenue being generated, possibly because you're buying something or you're spending time on an app and there's an advert being served up to you or something. So what's the obvious imperative for any company is to try and get you on their platform, because there is a potential revenue opportunity. So they will be using as many techniques as possible to get you on the platform. Does everyone disagree with that, or is that that's not an outlandish statement? We agree? We're happy? We're all on song so far. Okay. So, and this is the really interesting tweet we saw from someone. This shows how important your time is, because every minute that you're not on, it's potentially time that they need from you. So I really like I don't like this quote, but it's interesting to read what they said. Think about it. When you watch a show from a company and you get addicted to it, you stay up late at night. We're competing with sleep on the margin, so it's a very large pool of time. So, even has anyone got like a Netflix or a YouTube? Goes on YouTube. Everyone had that time where you probably didn't want to watch that next episode, but it was so damn tempting, or the next thing played. Has that happened to everyone probably at some point? Yeah. So, it's really deliberate, these things, and they start to kind of set into our daily lives. So let's have a look at the methods. Some of them will be obvious, some of them not so obvious, but I didn't know some of these, and why I thought this session was important. Ultimately, we might not be able to do anything about this, but I think what's so crucial is that we start empowering people. So oh my God, I'm getting that notification. They want my attention all the time, and you can give it to them, you might not, but if you're empowered to make that decision, that's a really important thing. So something we're referring to here is about a lot of this stuff is around gamification techniques. They all know what I mean when we say that. What do I mean?
Sort of leaderboards and all of that stuff, and putting that kind of coming back for more
Yes.
into real life.
Yes.
Yeah, and to add to that, kind of like using rewards for doing certain tasks to like stimulate that dopamine. So kind of like.
Oh, what's that word?
Dopamine.
And go on. What's that?
It's a chemical released in the brain that makes you happy, and so it's the brain's reward system basically. So when you do anything, when you do anything that is fun, you get dopamine.
Yeah, very cool. So we will go over this. So the first one, most obvious one, but when you think about it, and it's quite obvious. So the red button for alerts. Red is danger, fear, action, do something. So that is kind of the most the basic. Oh God, go back. Yeah, kind of most basic technique of getting your attention. Good or bad, our eyes are drawn to that number. Now a lot of companies are doing so much about this now. So does everyone know night mode on their phone?
Yeah.
That and these things come along because companies or people put pressure on companies. So it's proven quite quickly that the blue light just before sleep is a terrible idea. Because it keeps you alert. So quite an obvious way to keep your attention. This is the big one for all of our generation, social approval and affirmation. Okay, I will say this, and has anyone else, and I have done this before, especially right at the beginning, where you put something up on social media, it didn't quite get as many likes or as many thumbs up or whatever the hell it is now, and you deleted it and put something else up that got more likes. Am I just the only weird person in this room? Okay, very good. Okay, so I totally had this, not anymore, but there is this thing. Does anyone, when they post anything, wonder how many likes they've got? You're a very enlightened room. Who said? Someone said yes. Though. Oh, you do. Okay, so it's just the older people that's desperate for attention. Then
I believe everybody does. Everybody who posts anything is interested. No one wants to say that's like it's that way.
Okay. The spokesperson says we're right. It's very good. Yeah. But what a magnificent tool to get our attention, and it's caused this. I think this thing is probably one of the key causes of some sort of social angst, or do people like what I've done?
There was also, excuse me for interrupting you, but there was also this thing like that of course never happened, but like, why doesn't Facebook have a dislike button? And if it had a dislike button, imagine the suicide rate.
Do what? Kill himself. Correct.
No, seriously, it's been happening. People have been bullied. People have had problems. People have issues because they don't get enough social approval. And imagine if they got social disapproval. So it's good that they never implemented that.
Was that sorry?
People don't care about the people they don't like. They're not interested in making you feel like shit. They're interested in making them feel better.
Do you really believe in humanity?
What's the base?
I mean, look at YouTube has a dislike button. YouTube has a dislike button.
Yes, I know, but you always get people like that. It's not the same as people commenting.
Well, no, it isn't, but.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
Especially those YouTube likes and dislikes are anonymous.
Yeah, but I think even like within the youth, a lot. What happens is they just want to fit in with the other members. That's like other people in the class or school, for example. However, maybe they don't have they're not the same person as their friends, and as a person they know they don't want to imitate that person, but because that's how they're going to be accepted socially in that social group, they tend to let me put a photo like them, and slowly it starts off like this, and then you get they feel happy because people accept them, and later on from there, truly they're not happy inside. It's just that fake happiness that these likes, and for me I don't think the number of likes should matter unless it's a business organization where you are actually at the forefront of every page literally, and you want to be known. As for individuals, I think we need to maintain to our own identity, and we shouldn't give in to our identity based on people around us. They should accept us, and if they accept us, then from there we don't have anything to worry about. We don't need to try to be some random fake person, and so that's the sort of thing I take, and that's the advice I would give to anyone. And I have a 5-year-old sister, and I say the same thing. Just because your friend did that doesn't mean you do the same. You do what you want to do, and you do what you feel is right. And
I wish I had that mature attitude when I, even a year ago, as I was, desperately looking for social approval there. Absolutely right. Interesting argument about the dislike button. I wonder if it will cause,
Well, it's interesting, as you mentioned, comments. I mean, a lot of people, disable comments for that reason, etc. So it's the same process, isn't it?
I wonder how can we disincentivise those number of likes but still give that affirmation. Need for social reciprocity. This gets me all the time. I've got 17 WhatsApp messages from 5 different groups right now, and I'm scratching my head because I know I've got to respond to them. But again, this is another anxiety-inducing, but very simple tool to check that. Oh my God, I need to respond to people. Psychological reinforcement. Okay, so. I used to think that this stuff was all about your generation. So what this here is, who's got Snapchat? Put your hands up. Serious tool or bad tool, whatever you want to do with it. It was called Snap Streaks. Has anyone heard of Snap Streaks?
Yes, they still have it.
They still have it. Marvellous. So I know they still have it because she's not going to mind.
No.
Our colleague outside, I thought this is nonsense. No one does this. No one cares that they've message the same person 300 days in a row. Apparently they absolutely do. Sorry?
I said, boy, you're wrong.
I am completely wrong. This was so wrong. So our team assistant, she's on a huge snap streak with her friends, and unfortunately one day I think she went on holiday and she couldn't access Snapchat.
Time difference, got it wrong.
The time difference, she got
Something
it all
happened
wrong, and she lost her streak, and felt needed and compelled to email Snapchat to ask them if they could restore the streak back. So this thing, that might not be Sarah, but I'm mixing
It's
two
the
stories
friend.
there, but there was another friend, yeah. This stuff really does matter, and you gamify these things. And has anyone else been lured into that? Please say no. Oh, yes.
No, it's my friend. My friend keeps sending me blank picture with SS on it. I'm like,
That's
okay,
so
I'll just send one back.
And also, I have a lot of friends who are really into these streaks, and they would, like, if they were to lose that would be a tragedy. Like, there has been cases of people literally giving other people, when they go on holiday and there is no internet, they give their best friend their account so they can send, and like,
Yeah.
I mean, I have actually some streaks, but that's just because that's 3 people who keep messaging me all the time, and I have nothing against it because they're my friends.
Yeah. But yeah, it's totally a thing. And again, when you're designing all this, there is this weird, and what we're going to see all today is there is this huge tension between. Look, this is fantastic for Snapchat or any company. They get users, and there's this business tension. I think I'll come on to it actually in a second. I'll quickly skip over this one. So variable rewards. So the example here is a dating app where they're designed in a way that, let's say you swipe one way or the other, and you don't instantly get all of the matches that you think you have. You have to keep swiping, and then once time it comes. That's a very popular trick in what industry is this known for, where you get variable rewards. You go into a casino, you pop the coin in, you pop it down, you might win, you might not win. Yes?
I've built an app like that for the Balkans, and it works in a very similar way. And we had like 10,000 users before our team. It was one of those stories where the team falls apart and then business goes down as well.
Oh, okay.
And also about gambling, the biggest IT company in Bosnia and Herzegovina, my country, they make gambling software. So they're not, I think, the biggest by numbers. By how many employees they have like 300 employees, but they have huge amounts of revenue.
Okay. So, wrapping up, okay. The one I wanted to show you, so we've got other things, fear of missing out, all these things as well. I wanted to show you this inherent tension that we have. So, we're going to be making it hard to leave. So, you might have been on an app where you've just finished your program, and then what happens? Huh? It autoplays the next thing here, and that autoplay feature was one of the biggest decisions that the BBC thought about for a long time. But it really worked. So as soon as we turned autoplay on, the time spent on our platform was huge difference. But there were these tensions to say, do we want to keep encouraging our audience to just keep on binging and binging? There's a term now where it's been used quite a lot, binging on your programs. You know, I'm binging on Netflix all weekend. Now, I don't know anyone else, but I think the term binging is not a good use. You know, you don't binge on food. It's a bad thing to keep binging. But in TV circles, it seems to have turned into a good thing because I'm watching all the series in one go. But there's been this big tension in the BBC where you say, do we actually want all our audience? Do we actually want to encourage all of our audience to watch 8 hours of Sherlock in one fell swoop? So this has been the big thing, and I just wanted to get over today, that tension between trying to keep your audience in one end and trying to build that healthy experience in the other. Have we run out?
That's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I've shown you some of the techniques. I'm not going to show you some of the answers that we're thinking about. That's what you guys are going to think in the next 10 days. But I believe I may hand over to Elena.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you. Wonderful. Okay.